Welcome
Hey guys.
to SISATIONal. Hi.
Hey.
Hello. Thank you guys for joining us.
Thank you so much for listening. I'm Jac,
And I'm Leah.
and we are sisters.
Yes, we've been so our whole lives.
Yes.
And this is just like a brief introductory episode on the podcast, on who we are and just why we're doing this. And I'm stoked.
Same. Oh my God.
Oh my God, we're finally doing this.
Yeah. So, this has actually been something that we've had the idea to do for a few years.
2 years now. Like before like the 2020 hype that everybody was making a podcast, I feel like we were
100%.
talking about it before it got popular, like the really popular thing to do.
Yeah. I mean, everybody in quarantine, I think, at one point picked up
Thought
the
about it.
microphone.
Yeah.
But this was like, I remember being in college and thinking about doing this with you.
Yeah.
But I'm glad we're doing it now because I
Yeah.
feel like this is the better time for us
Yep.
to do it, where we are now.
Mentally, physically,
Yeah.
like
Emotionally, where we're headed is just different than it was even 3-4 years ago.
yeah, for sure.
So I think this is a good time. And we're just excited.
Yeah.
We're excited to be able to really make friends with you guys.
Yes. That's one of the whole reasons why we both have been wanting to do this.
Yes. So for me, I started listening to podcasts like in college. And I was in New Zealand, in Wellington specifically, which is a pretty awesome town. You get to walk everywhere. It's kind of small and it's dense, And I was walking around everywhere.
Yep.
For like every single errand I had to go to, I was walking around a shit ton. And I started getting into podcasts to pass the time. And it became so much more than just that for me. I started listening to different comedy stuff, more conversational things like Armchair Expert. I started listening to Self-Helpless, which is comedy.
Yes.
I fell in love and felt like I could really listen to people who talked like I was just part of the conversation.
Yeah.
A lot of the stuff I listened to wasn't very alienating.
Mm-hmm.
And I felt like I had friends on these podcasts, which was important for me because at this particular time in my life, I was feeling really alone.
Yeah.
So podcasts, from learning things to being entertaining to getting you through a day,
Yeah.
like they are powerful.
Mhm.
It's a powerful medium and it's an intimate medium and it's one of my favorite mediums
No, same.
to consume stuff. So I've been wanting to hopefully be a source of comedic relief,
Yes.
helping someone through a rough day,
Yes.
maybe some inspiration thrown your way, just any of those positive things to somebody because I know how powerful it was for me.
Yeah.
And I just want to authentically be able to do that for somebody else.
Mhm.
And who better to do it with than my best friend and
Oh,
my
man.
sister. So
No, ditto. And you got me into podcasts, I think. Like, I got into them, I think the last 2 years of college, sort of
Yeah.
off and on, and a lot on like work inspo and comedy. But the whole point in that you have a friend and I don't know, a source of people who don't judge you. I'm just glad you're here. Like,
100%.
and I think it's also hard to make friendships as adults. And as introverts, it can be easier to isolate yourself than to experiment with, am I going to click with this person? Are we going to be friends?
Right.
And in a podcast, like it is just easier to kind of test those waters safely. You know
Yeah.
what I mean?
100%.
So I completely feel you.
Yeah. I also have seen some of the bonds that podcasters have had with their listeners and with certain shows. Like I said, I think it can be powerful.
Yeah.
And I think it can be fun.
Mm-hmm.
And that's just kind of what we want to do. We just want to make it a warm, inviting vibe.
Yes.
Like all good vibes towards you guys today.
Yeah.
You know?
Absolutely. Absolutely. Like, I hope that we can just laugh together, chill together, and know that you're not alone. And this is a reminder from two people who have really felt that, who know what feeling alone is and have completely sat in that.
Wondering if we were going to get out of that.
Right. Like, truly feeling stuck in that. And it's arguably one of the worst feelings ever. And so we don't want that for any of our listeners. So we're inspired to create a safe space.
100%. Yeah.
So exciting.
We'll be talking about a whole bunch of different things.
Yes.
A lot of our own experiences and stuff that we've learned.
Mm-hmm.
Stuff that we're also aspiring to be or to work on.
Yes.
And also just fun stuff.
Good movies, good music.
100%.
Funny childhood memories, not so great
Traumatic
ones.
childhood memories, maybe.
Why we're weird. I'm sorry.
Yeah, well, kind of. A little bit of an explanation for what the fuck happened.
Exactly.
Yeah, I wanted to title this episode, like, what the fuck is this and who the fuck are you?
Who needs it? Why do I listen to it?
Yeah, that's important questions to ask. And I think really the bottom line is if we resonate in some way with your sense of humor or with the stuff you're trying to fucking work through, then that's what this is about. It's kind of a hangout.
Yes, if you don't like it, you don't have to listen to it, okay? Like, that's the whole point of choosing your friends.
Yeah.
If you don't like it, then it's okay if we don't click. I won't take that personally.
She will, but...
I will. But, like, I don't have to face you. And
she'll just cry in the bathtub. And...
Yeah, I'll just cry immediately. Oh my God.
But you know, that is a reason why we're doing this, is because I think now we feel like we can. Like, if someone doesn't want to listen, that's okay. Like, my confidence, security in, like, who I am now
is better.
It's not, like, you know, perfect, but we're getting there. And I couldn't have been as vulnerable a few years ago and as comfortable doing this with you because of where I was at.
Yeah, alone,
isolated, just not healthy, really. So now that we're both in one of the best mental, emotional, physical places we've been, we can give back in ways that we wish, I think, I could have given, you know, when I wasn't absorbed in that part of my life.
And stuff that I think I would have liked to have received in those moments when I was alone. Like, I found resources that helped me sort of cope, but I felt like there wasn't enough that really resonated with me, like on a deep level, or really saw me. Like, you still, like, you have podcasts that, like, sort of see their listeners, but, like, the deep stuff, I think we could always use more authenticity and more vulnerability and more honesty about talking about not so great stuff that early adults go through.
And not even just that age group. I mean, we're talking stuff that teenagers face, and then I have other family members that are upwards of 50 and still struggling with some of the same shit. So whoever you are, we value you.
Yes.
And thank you for listening. Thank you for sharing your time with us today.
Yes. Yeah. Thank you for letting us be a part of that.
So one of the questions that I had said earlier in a funny way was, who the fuck are you?
Right.
And what I mean by that is people listening are probably wondering, like, who the fuck are you?
Right.
Yeah. So one of the things we had decided to do instead of us talking about ourselves
is introducing each other.
Yeah, because we both get a little bit weird when we start trying to talk about ourselves, when we feel like we're selling the best qualities of ourselves and trying to be, it can feel inauthentic.
Then maybe that's why I hate it.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because it feels inauthentic. But, like, me sharing how much I love my best friend, that's not inauthentic. So it's just easier if we talk about each other.
Yeah.
And you're amazing. You're an icon and a legend, and I love you. And we're best friends. We're sisters, as we already stated. But Jac is a film composer. Like, she's done so many independent short films and projects. And she graduated from New Zealand School of Music. Wait, New Zealand, what's it called? Victoria University.
Also Victoria University of Wellington.
And you got your bachelor's in music with a focus in film composition. And you've just always been a really down-to-earth, kind, earnest individual. And I feel like anybody who is around you can feel like they can open up to you and just trust you. Like, you're a safe space as a person. I feel like you prioritize that because you value that. And, I mean, you're obviously, you've worked so hard throughout college, throughout your whole life. You've worked so freaking hard on just being a great person, on your musical craft. And, like, now you do, like, a bunch of podcast editing, and, like, you help other musicians, like, put together their music, like, as a music producer. And just, you're so diverse in what you do, and you do everything so well. You're a friend to the fullest, and you do everything to the fullest, and you don't half-ass anything. And I value you so much. And I appreciate that about you so much. And you're awesome. So she's just great. And
Thanks,
if you don't...
Boo. Thanks.
Okay. Sorry.
Please stop before I'm more uncomfortable.
Did I leave anything out?
Oh, no. Well, I will say the one thing I can say about myself is I am married to my hubs, whose name is Noah, who's a funny man. And I also have a cat named Haley, who is 4 years old, and she is adorable. And she is actually laying between us right now on this couch.
She's favoring me right now. She's closer to me.
She is. She's closer to Leah.
Well,
okay.
That's because I'm visiting and I'm not here. Like,
okay. I'm heartbroken. No, but I love those two very much as well. So Leah is also my best friend. Surprise, surprise. She is also my sister. Surprise, surprise there too. But Leah is someone who I know that if I didn't have her in my life, I wouldn't be who I am in a good way. Like when we were talking earlier about the times of aloneness that we felt, those are times when more than ever I've been grateful for someone like you, because I don't want to think about what would have happened if I didn't, which is a big part of why this is important to me. So she is a friend to the fullest and has been there in some shitty past midnight calls. She has really demonstrated a lot of strength too. You are strong. I don't think you give yourself enough credit for the strength that you do have. She's talented. Leah graduated from Anderson University in 2021.
Well, yeah, 2021, yeah.
Yeah. And she also has a bachelor's in music. And she currently leads worship at a church local to her. But she's been doing that for years. Like, we started out in a band, and after we disbanded, she continued to do worship leading. And I mean, we're talking like she went to Hillsong, kind of saw the shadiness going on, didn't feel that, didn't like that, came back to the States and continued in South Carolina pursuing her degree. And again, I don't think you know how not just talented, you are talented, but I feel like talent does not consider skill and the amount of practice. You also have worked hard, but you've practiced your ass off. And there are still things that you have accomplished and can do that you don't realize how good you are at it. And that includes singing, that includes guitar playing, that includes leading, that includes being creative, that includes organization. And when it comes to leading other people and working as a team, she's really got it together that way. So one of the things about Leah, she doesn't clearly give herself enough credit for the things she can do, and she is, and all good things. She is also a dog mom.
Oh, God.
Recently, which surprised me, because Leah has never really been an animal person.
No, I've been kind of afraid of animals. I've always had a weird, I don't know.
But you got this dog a couple months back, and it has been her and this dog
it really
ever since. Like, and it's actually been touching to see because you love Rosie.
Yeah.
And she's a pity mix.
She is.
Her eyes are so cute. Oh my God. So Leah is a dog mom, also a wife to her hubs. And my God, you've gotten through so much. You're so strong.
Oh my God.
And thank you for being my best friend. And you've accomplished so much, but also who you are is a big part of how I've gotten through things, and our closeness is a big part of your amazingness. So thank you for
my God,
for being so amazing.
Literally right back at you. Oh my God.
We're holding hands.
We are. Oh my God. I can't even with that. Oh my God. Our love language is one of our top ones is words of affirmation.
Is it for you too?
Yeah. And we are so like, we're really good about like giving that.
Oh my God.
No, we're not desperate. We're fierce, independent women.
We're hoes for words of desperation. Words of desperation.
Oh my God. Words of desperation.
We're hoes for words of We are hoes for words of affirmation. Words of desperation.
That's a little sad.
It's not the podcast we're trying.
No, that's not what we're trying to promote. Oh my God. But it really means a lot coming from you. And
oh, right back at you, honey.
God.
Are you okay?
Yeah. It's just you really touched me.
So we're gonna be back in 5. We're gonna go cry in the bathtub.
Yeah, gonna go cry. One thing, Hillsong, I went to their college, so I didn't like work for like the band. They had a college in Australia, and I went there and that was not.
There's a whole documentary about that.
Yeah, now there's a documentary.
She was in the college during the time where some of the documentary footage was it filmed after you left, do you think?
That's a good question. I would have to look into it. I feel like the oldest ones are the ones that came from my year, like the people who went in my semester. But that's like the oldest, the furthest back it went, I think.
The other thing I want to clarify is that this isn't exactly a religious podcast. We both have a religious background.
Right.
And another reason why we're doing this is because we're also trying to navigate that into adulthood.
Yeah.
And each of us differently, each of us trying to figure shit out.
Yeah.
So another thing I just want to kind of clarify is that we're not going to be like talking about that a whole bunch, but that will come up because it's part of our past experience.
Yeah.
And again, it's shaped us who we are, but we're also trying to, I think, continue to find out who we are independent of just that.
Right. Independent on what's just like told to you and not what you get to discover for yourself as a kid and what you have to relearn as an adult. So,
yeah.
But like, I love you so much. Literally same for me to you. Like, I wouldn't be who I am. I don't think I would be where I am. Like, I think everybody needs to have a 4 a.m. friend. And that is a call out to Mel Robbins' podcast. That is such a great podcast.
Please go check it out and do yourself a favor.
But the 4 a.m. concept is so important. And Jac's always been my 4 a.m. friend. I think that's part of the reason why we wanted to do this podcast, because not everybody has a 4 a.m. friend or just something that they can go to, someone they can go to comfort at 4 a.m.
Yeah.
And it's all wrapped in why we want to do this. And I just, like, what we have, I think, is really the inspiration.
We want to be able to let other people in on that.
Yeah.
Because I feel like it's been, I keep saying powerful, but it has. It's helped me get through shit.
Yes.
Like, it really has. It's not an exaggeration.
No.
So, yeah, we hope that as these episodes continue, that we can actually become friends.
Yes.
With you. And
genuinely,
we want to know, too, like, as we continue talking about different things, if there are things you want us to talk about. We want to interact.
Yes, with you guys.
We don't want it to be an entirely one-sided conversation.
No.
You know? So please don't be afraid to DM us.
Yes, absolutely.
Email us, whatever. Like, all of our information will be in the show notes. So just, hit us up, please. We want to get to know you.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
So, with that said, this is our first little introductory episode. Thank you for doing this with me.
Oh my God, thank you for doing it with me. Thank you guys for joining us. And
yes.
I'm so grateful. I'm so grateful. And I'm so
excited.
Happy.
I'm excited.
Oh my God, yes.
So I guess before we sign off,
we love you.
We're rooting for you.
And you matter. Have a great week, you guys.
Bye.
Bye.